Today I'm gonna show you how to plant some hops. I did this a couple years ago, and the first 2 years I got really good growth. Even my first year, which the first year can be really tricky to get enough cones out of. By the third year, it just died. Nothing grew, nothing happened. I brought rhizomes again, which is the root that the hops are grown from. You can get them at home brew supply stores. You can get them online usually. As long as you keep it cold and refrigerated before you plant them, they'll be good to go for a little bit. It is late April right now. I'm a little late in doing this. I'd rather have started this maybe at the end of March, but it's not too bad. I can still do this. Yeah, I think if you start planting them closer to like mid-May, late May, that might be a little bit too late. Usually they're ready to harvest, I want to say, probably September time, late August, September. The problem is where I grow these, it's extremely hot in the summer. It gets to be, in the high 90s a lot of the time. It is a dry heat. I'm in the Los Angeles area. I think they prefer a little bit more wet climate, maybe a little more humidity. But for example, right now, this has been sitting in the sun, so it's not this hot. But that's to give you an idea of what I'm dealing with even right now on late April. What I did last time for this was get some manure and got some regular potting soil, and I churned it all up into one mixture, and then dug about 3 inches below the soil, maybe a little more, maybe like close to 5 inches, and buried it on top with the roots sticking up, and then just let them grow. In the first year, you just gotta let them do what you want. I've heard that you can also train a couple vines early on to strengthen just those vines. I think that's better later in the years when you've been growing these. So when you're like year 2 or 3, the first vines that start going, you train those. Maybe get like 4 vines per rhizome, and the roots will just keep growing, expanding, and establish themselves. And once they're established, you should be good to go for a while. I think what happened to me is it got too hot. I think I overwatered it a little bit. I was doing it every day, and I think it's a little too much. I think I gotta do it every like 2 days, maybe even 3 days. So I want to space it out a little more this time. If they don't grow because of the heat, then I won't try again. But I'm gonna try one more time. Hops really like to go vertical. I've done it where I went up like 6-7 feet and then out sideways. I don't know if I got good results doing it that way. They never really did that great. I think it's just keep going vertical. I've seen people like do strings that line all the way to the top of the roof. But for the first year, I'm just gonna let it go nuts and do its thing, and then the second year I evaluate what I want to do with it. Whether I want to get a taller trellis, whether I want to string strings all the way to the roof. I might put it out back and get a bigger trellis there. So we'll see what I get out of this first year, and yeah, go from there. So this is what the rhizome looks like. I'll pull it out of the bag here. And you got the little sprouts already coming out. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this vertically up into the soil, about this deep or so, and let it do its thing. You can put them this way too, let them establish this way. But this looks like it's ready to go vertical already. This is Northern Brewer. I've used it before in some hoppy beer. I've never done like 100% IPA with it or 100% hoppy beer with it. I will do it this time. If I get even like 20 cones out of this the first year, I'll do like 100% hop beer with it and just see what I get out of it. There are ways when you're done to package this. Vacuum seal is the best way. But before you do that, you gotta like dry them out first for about a week or so. And I've seen people put like screens, like mesh screens, and put their hop cones on top and put fans over them. And after about a week or so, maybe 4 or 5 days, then they'll be good to go. Then from there, you vacuum seal it and you put it in your freezer for a while. I'd say maybe 6 months to a year, maybe longer. I've seen people do it where they do wet hot beer, where they pick it right off the vine and right in the beer. And that you just have to do 6 times the amount of hops that you normally would for your recipe. So if you call for 1 ounce for a bittering addition, you have 6 ounces. So, that's one way to do it. I haven't done wet hot beer. In fact, I might even do it with this one. We'll see how I feel. So here's what I got set up. I got a big bag of this here, just regular potting soil. Got some manure, and then I got this big bucket here. I'm going to put it here for now, for the first year at least. And this trellis was actually already here. Our landlord put it there to grow something there, but it's not being used, so I'm going to use it. It's actually our shower right there, so it's going to be good when this grows and blocks everything. Ideally, it would go like all the way to that window or to the ceiling. So I think it's good to also have a bucket that drains out from the bottom. There are holes in the bottom of this bucket. You don't want to fill up with water and drown the hop rhizomes or the roots. So yeah, get something that drains out. It's really good. I got my authentic gardening gloves here. Just don't tell my girlfriend that I'm using these. But it's fine. I'll put them back in the kitchen when I'm done using them. Okay. All right, so what I was told by someone recently, having a conversation with on how to do this properly, is to put the manure or their fertilizer first, maybe mix it with a little bit of soil, then put your soil on top, and then put the fertilizer back on top afterward. So then what you're doing is you're going to soak all of that through the rhizomes, and it'll grow a little better. I'm going to try it this time. Last time I just mixed everything in there, so I might as well try something different this time. It is hot today. Brutal. I'll mix that up a little bit. Take it all. I don't know if it's necessary to mix it really, but can't hurt, right? I was a little concerned this bag wouldn't fill to the top, but it looks like I'm gonna get there, or close to it at least. So the price on this, by the way, wasn't too bad. It's like $25, $30. This is like $15. These reach $10. The potting soil and the manure, and the rhizomes are $7. So that's good. A little more on top here, which I think is actually a good idea, because I really do want all this to go down through it. I might mix it up a tiny bit here, break it up a little bit. Yeah, that's the perfect amount of potting soil. I don't know the size of bag that is. It's 35 quarts, 42 liters. Yeah, it's really just like the perfect amount actually. So it's not too spilling over the top here. Now, right about to the edge. So I'm gonna dig a hole here and just put the rhizome in there, and I should be good to go. Think about that, should be good. It's about 4 or 5 inches down below. Cover it up, and that's it. So yeah. Worked up a sweat on that one. So it's as simple as that. So I'm gonna water it, like I said, every 3 days or so. Might do a little water right now. I do think it's important, I should say, and I forgot to say this earlier, that you get a bucket that's lighter in color. I think part of the reason why I had issues with the first time I did this is because the pot I had was a brown color and it absorbed too much heat. So a white bucket would be great. Anything lighter color to reflect the heat is great, especially if you live in a hot climate like I do. I'll keep you posted. I do a lot of videos already, so as I do my brew days, I usually put my wort there to chill. I'll point it out to you as I go. I'll show some videos, maybe some update videos. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and good luck out there.